When I was a teenager, I started questioning the fundamentalist Christianity that I was raised in. And I'll tell you what, those questions gave me a little glimpse into what freedom felt like. The grown-ups didn't see it that way, though. They got real uncomfortable. They told me I needed to have more faith, that I needed to not ask so many questions. They literally told me I shouldn't be asking those questions. I just needed to have faith. But by then, I had tasted something better. Better answers. Honest ones. Nobody telling me to shut up. And I was hooked. Questioning made me glimpse power. It made me feel like I could figure some important shit out. When you're raised in a system, religious or political, that reinforces obedience, loyalty, and absolute truth, questioning doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like falling. It feels like falling. But that's what's going on with a lot of MAGA folks when you question them, when you ask them to defend their beliefs. Their belief system isn't built to handle doubt. They were taught to trust the leader, trust the tribe, trust the story that they've been fed. So when you hit them with a hard question, especially if they're happy in that theology, that belief system that they're in, they don't hear your questions as curiosity. They hear, you're trying to take everything away from me, everything that I care about. And yeah, they get defensive, sometimes ugly. Sometimes they do this, you're threatening me thing. It doesn't come from confidence. None of that does. It comes from fear. All of it does. It's like with the aggressive dogs I used to work with. The big bad ones were scared inside too. If they let that questioning in, if they follow it the way I did, they risk losing their community, their identity, maybe even their place in their family. And I risked some of that when I went through there. I definitely lost the church community, but I left them. They didn't leave me. But the things they did to keep me in were not acceptable. Threatening to separate me from my family. I couldn't abide by those things. But it's still a steep cost, and it's scary when you've been taught all your life that you're going to go to hell if you don't believe these certain things and behave in these certain ways. So no, MAGAs don't lean into deep discussions. They don't go pull up studies and peer-reviewed sources like we do because they're not trained for that. They're trained to hold the line. That's why a lot of them are afraid about liberal education. First of all, the word liberal is scary, but it's also that they are not comfortable with questioning, and they are comfortable with letting somebody else do all the thinking. It's not an intellectual debate to them. It's not fun to do all the research. They get defensive, and it's a survival instinct. So if you're wondering why MAGA folks snap when you challenge them, it's not because they're so damn sure of themselves. It's because they're not. Stay curious.